What's going on, y'all? It's Doc Stanko, and I hope everyone is having a great modded Monday. Hey, so today we are going to showcase another mod that I think is super amazing for the breeding process, but it also actually is one of those mods that just has a huge improvement to what's already in the game. So all that being said, let's go over Peyloris Cryo Storage. The first part of the mod I want to go over is going to be the neuter gun. This item only requires one thatch to craft, and it gives you the option to neuter or get rid of your tames. The neuter mode I can see being useful for tames such as the Achatina, when you let them roam to get the Achatina pace and they start breeding with everybody. And the bye-bye mode I can see being helpful for when you're breeding on PvE settings and you don't really have the option to send your tames to a better place. Next up is the cryo chamber, which is essentially the modded version of the cryopod. The cryo chamber is unlocked a level after the cryopod, and when compared to the cryopod, it's actually a little bit more expensive. However, the cryo chamber and actually every item included in this mod has one huge benefit over the vanilla items, and that's the ability to be crafted in your inventory instead of having to track down a drop or obelisk. Now, as you can see, the cryo chamber works exactly like a cryopod by being able to pick up and release tames. But another cool function for the single player or admin is you have the ability to access any settings in game to tweak the functionality of the items. For me personally, I like to be able to throw out the tames without having to worry about cryo sickness, but you can also have it to where you can capture a baby, and when it's released, it will be fully imprinted and grown. Another cool function for the any settings is you can set it to give you cryo chambers when using the gun or terminal if you don't have any crafted. This can be pretty helpful if you're in a dire situation. The cryo chamber does show off the stats of the dinos to include mutations, so that's pretty helpful in the breeding process, which I will show all of these and all the past few mods, put them all together in a future episode. To make life easier, you can also craft the cryo gun for one thatch, which allows you to pick up multiple tames fairly quickly, instead of having to wait for the animation that the cryo chamber uses and the regular cryopods. Moving on, the next item is the cryo fridge, which is unlocked at level 88 and is more expensive than the vanilla version. But again, you have the capability to craft it in your inventory, so that can be a fair trade. This functions exactly like the vanilla version by extending the timer on the cryo chambers, but it also has its own settings to tweak in the any menu as well. The last item for this mod, and what I think is the most important item when it comes to breeding, is the cryo terminal. This can be unlocked at level 1. However, you're not going to be using this until you've gotten your hand on some element in order to craft it. Essentially what this item's function is that it picks up the newborns and stores them in the terminal, allowing for a nice and tidy breeding pen. A cool little feature of this item is the ability to search for the level of the dino, but also to get rid of the ones that you don't need with just the click of a button. Also, it does have different range options, with the max being a huge radius. All in all, this mod is just simply way better than the vanilla versions with the features it brings, such as being able to adjust these any settings while playing in the game. Yes, it can be busted and abused, but at the same time, who really likes the vanilla cryopod system anyways? Hey, that's going to be it for today. We have just one more mod to go before I do a modded breeding tutorial. I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Until then, later.